Okay, hello YouTube. I'm playing a game. I'm starting off with e4, c5 Sicilian, knight f3. We're going to have an open Sicilian here. Knight f6, knight c3. We have a Najdorf. Bishop c4 is a Sozin variation. e6, bishop b3, still mainline Sozin. So hopefully you're learning something here. Knight c6, we're going to transpose this into a Velimirovic with bishop e3, bishop d7, queen e2. Bishop e7 is the normal move here, but he might try something else like rook c8, queen c7. Just going to continue with something that at least looks mainline. My opponent's being weird. Okay, so we'll play g4 because he's still castled. I mean, he's still uncastled. His king's still in the middle. So I'm going to play g4 without prepping it with rook g1. Because we still have a very centralized king. This is goofy. Okay, so he's basically playing play knight d5. He's saying b4 says play knight d5, you coward. Okay, I'll do it. That's what b4 says. That's the statement. Play knight d5, you coward. That's what he basically just said. Every move in chess is a statement. And that was the statement he made when he made that move. He said, play knight d5. I bet you don't have the guts to play knight d5. And I do have the guts. I have a lot of faults as a chess player. Lacking courage is not one of them. So. And that's really the way you should always play chess in general, is just never lack courage. If you think you have the best move, if you think you have to sacrifice material to continue your position, sacrifice the material, continue your position. It's a lot better than letting your position pitter out into something where you're significantly worse. You can lose a game by playing passively just as easily as you can lose a game by playing, people are afraid of playing too aggressively and losing. You should be more afraid of playing too passively and losing. So here, h3, I guess knight e3, queen e3 is fine. Does he just retreat his knight? That would be nice. Because then I just play rook he1 and continue my assault. Or h4 is good. Okay. He wants to play... No. He wanted me to take, and then he was going to play bishop g5 and pin my queen to my king. Okay, so he has absolutely nothing here, I think, because he still can't castle because his bishop hangs, and his knight is weird here. Like maybe he'll play h5 and just like batten down the hatches on his knight, but it's really goofy just to look at that knight. So what do I do here? Maybe we just play... I don't know what to play here. His knight's weird. That's about all I can say about the position. So knight e6 maybe? So again, playing super aggressive moves. Because what else are you going to do? I got to break through. I can't let him consolidate. This contains a threat. I'm threatening queen takes knight. I'm threatening to break through on the light squares. Basically just threatening to come after him with everything I've got, and just continuing to threaten to do that. And we're going to play queen e4. That threatens his rook. It also threatens to sneak in. So threatening his rook and threatening to sneak in with queen f5, queen f7. Okay, so he's making his own threats now. Queen f5 is still a thing, so we're going to make that threat. Kind of hoping for f6. Queen g6, threatening queen f7, and this going for this breakthrough. So now he doesn't have queen d6 because queen f7 is mate. So now it's hard for him to find a defense because my threat is simply rook d7. But if a threat, if a way to save exists, then it exists, and I lose, and that's fine. But I mean, I don't see a way to save, so I'm assuming that there's not one. But that doesn't mean that there's not one. It just means, But this is just chess. When we play chess, we do this. We try to find the right moves, and if you make a mistake, it's fine. You lose the game, whatever. A loss doesn't. You can lose a game by playing passively just as easily as by playing, super aggressively, which I know I said that already, but I'm saying it again because it's my video. You can see what I want. So queen f4 check, king b1. Does he have anything after this? No. Okay, so he could have just resigned. But instead, he took, and he blocked that immediate mate threat. which is just ridiculous. Okay, and that's mate. So, but yeah, okay, so I don't think he had a defense, so I'm just gonna, just bring up the analysis board real quick, just so we can see if kind of I went down the right path. Like, more often than not, when you play these sacrifices, you are going down the right path. So, rook d7, and yeah, it says mate in 6, so white's just winning. Also here, e7 check wins, but also rook d6 is winning. Actually, rook d6 is better than e7, so rook d6 just wins. Okay, so it says all of this is great. Okay, so this is really interesting. Look at that. Like right here, the computer's top move was actually knight e6 for a second. So let's take a look at this. It thinks the position is still pretty close to equal. I probably made a mistake earlier because I must have been quite a bit better here. So right after I played knight d5, which he said, play knight d5, I dare you. So I played it. Okay, so now it's saying it's slight edge black. Okay, e d5, e d5, knight e5, g5, it says slight edge white. Okay, and then knight g4, f4, it's slight edge white, bishop e7, and it just wants to take right away. So that, maybe I should have just taken the material right away. But the move I played wasn't terrible. And then takes, there. But once gh6, and it thinks equality. h4, it thinks is still close to equality. And then queen e2, and then king f8 is correct. Okay, so now this is interesting, because it didn't hate my move. It didn't hate knight e6. Bishop e6. It does think bishop e6 is best, de6. And now it thinks f5 is better than what he played. So f5 was the move, because after he played h5, yeah, it really doesn't like black's position anymore. So h5 and then queen, it likes queen e4, it likes queen f5 a lot, and then it just thinks he's lost after queen g6, because then takes. Okay. So, kind of an interesting game, like a lot of mistakes from both sides, I think. Yeah, of course these lost here, obviously. So this was a pretty pointless way to try to stop stuff at this point. Was just getting the queen to defend f7. I mean, it's creative though. He got the queen to defend f7, but I have so much attacking f7, it's basically just game over. But I don't know. I mean, I guess the lesson here is don't be afraid to sacrifice material. You know, I mean, you can even see the computer assessment. I mean, at one point I had sacrificed 2 pieces in a row, and the computer didn't absolutely hate it. It wasn't going, oh my gosh, you're down. You know, because 2 pieces, that's worth 6 points. At no point did the computer say I was ever down more than even a whole pawn. And I'd sacrificed 6 points worth of material. So, you know, kind of intuitively, I knew that these sacrifices needed to work. I was getting compensation for it, and you know, you have to play these, because if you don't play them, you're not going to learn. If you do make mistakes, you need to learn from those mistakes. And something I learned from this game was, you know, clearly instead of h3, clearly it was a little bit better for me to play f takes e5. So here, probably fe5, you know, knight e5, and then simply knight c6 was going to be a cleaner advantage white. Although I'm kind of curious why. Like bishop g4, queen d2, and then what's wrong with bishop d1? Oh, just rook d1. And you can see I'm down a whole exchange here. But it really likes white. It really likes white, the computer does. So knight c6, dc6, castles, just bishop d5. It loves white. It thinks white's doing great. Even down the exchange, it just thinks white's got a huge advantage here. Okay, cool to know. But yeah, I mean, instinctually, knight d5 looked correct, and all the sacrifices after that also instinctually looked correct. I mean, the game worked out. It was a good result, and I learned, and if you see a move and you think it's correct, always play it, because one of 2 things are going to happen. Either you're going to win spectacularly, or you're going to learn something new about chess. So that's always the philosophy with sacrificing material or capturing material. Either one is always try those moves, and one of those 2 results is going to happen. In this case, I won spectacularly, and I also learned something new about chess, which happens a lot today with modern engines. So anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you learned something new about chess, and thank you very much for watching.